The goal of this channel is going to be to help you get a job in government IT. This video, I'm going to talk about 3 things you're going to need to know how to land a gig. And in order, we're going to discuss 3 topics: education versus experience versus certs, which one is going to be more valuable, which one should I focus on. Next topic is going to be your resume, what you got to do to tweak it, and then the soft skills necessary to succeed. So this one's just going to be a quick general video. I'm going to go further in depth in subsequent videos, but I hope this helps some people out there. Starting things off, education, experience, certifications, what should you do? Well, honestly, first and foremost, your experience is going to trump all. There's no getting around that. Education checks a box. It typically earns additional points during the hiring process. There's a matrix the hiring manager is going to look at. There's typically an education section, and you're going to be assigned certain points based off your level of experience, your level of education. Some hiring managers value it more than others, but it could be the tiebreaker between you and somebody else. So it quite literally adds points to the points process to get you to the interview stage. Certs are a little bit different. In DoD IT positions, the baseline cert requirement is typically an IET level 2 or an IAM level 1 certification. I'll have the full, actually we'll pop it up right here. I'll just show you right now. This is the DoD approved 8570 baseline certifications. So for an IET level 2, you need to have one of these certifications. For an IAM level 1, you need to have one of these. IET stands for Information Assurance Technical. It's really going to be your technician roles, and IAM is going to be your management roles, Information Assurance Management. Something almost everybody in GovIT does is they just go for the Security Plus. It does satisfy both these roles, both these requirements. It's just kind of the baseline that most people aim for. This is a requirement. This is just a baseline requirement to get the job. Most will say must have a approved baseline certification of an IET level 2 within 6 months of employment. But really, the employer's not likely to hire you if you don't have that certification because it's a risk. They would hire you, you don't get it, you can't perform the responsibilities of the jobs you were hired for, and you can be let go. So that being said, I would recommend getting this, but in order of what is more important, I would say your experience will trump all, your education is going to check that box, earn you points on the hiring matrix, and certs are mandatory and required. Higher level certs will also help you for higher positions. So going through and obtaining your CISSP can help you land a higher role in government that requires an IAM level 3 position, for example. Going back to the next topic, actually, we'll go into your resume. Big thing to know is the knowledge, skills, and abilities. And we're going to go to USA Jobs here in a second. I'll give you a real-world example, what you have to do to incorporate the KSAs into your resume, where you have to look for, how do you search for the job. It's not uncommon in government positions to have a 10-page resume for the reasons I'm about to show you. It's so they can kind of incorporate the full breadth of your experience. These people are extremely particular with what they're looking for in a candidate, and for you to target that, you're going to have this massive resume. So let's go over to USA Jobs, and let's see. Already got a couple up. So whenever you are searching up here for most IT roles, you're just going to go with 2210, Information Technology Management Job Series. And then you can location, target to a specific location if you want. I did Washington, D.C. in the example I have, but you can check like Denver, Colorado, San Francisco, wherever it is that you're looking for. In Denver, there's 90 jobs. This position I'm using for this example is in Washington, D.C. It's just nationwide locations, 3 vacancies. But what you want to do is, once you search for the position, you want to go down to the responsibilities of the job, kind of read through this, understand what you're getting into, see if you do have the experience necessary, to perform the work that it's asking you to perform, if it's something you're interested in. And then you're going to go here. Everything here should be in your resume, everything. So don't do it word for word. Don't just copy and paste it, reword it, change things around, and make sure it's relevant. Be prepared to speak about how you did perform, XYZ item that's in this list in a previous role. They're going to ask you, they're going to want to know, they want to know your experience. Are you a good fit for the position? And yeah, for example, we'll say plan and conduct security accreditation reviews for installed systems or on networks and recommend new or revised security measures. Change that up a little bit. Put it in your most recent role if it is something that you've done recently, but also incorporate it in other roles within your resume. If you've done this in the past 2 of 5 positions you've been in, make sure you put it in there. It's pretty important. But don't just go by this, and don't just reword this, and don't just put this in your resume and think you're good to go. A little bit further down on the job announcements, and again, this is usajobs.gov. It's pretty much one of the primary sources for government IT jobs that you're going to find. I recommend going through here, creating a profile, using the resume builder that they have in here. It's usually typically recommended to use the resume builder, and then start incorporating these into your resume. Down here where it says qualifications, this typically has a few more items in there that are not in the responsibilities up here that you'll also want to incorporate within your resume. So go through here, look for what they're looking for. Assignments would show experience developing modifications to parts of a system that would require significant revisions in the logic or techniques used in the original development. If you've done that, show that in your resume. But that's it. That's it for your resume. That's the very basic part of your resume. And again, I'll go more in depth in another video on how to fill out that resume. But moving on to the final topic, soft skills. So that's great. You've got some experience. You've got your education down. You've got a certificate, maybe Security Plus, or just something that's going to get you qualified for the role you're applying for. You got a nice resume. You've incorporated those KSAs into it. Doesn't mean anything aside from getting you the interview. To pass the interview, you got to have soft skills. And this is something a lot of IT people are lacking. As weird as that sounds, considering we're in the communications field, we're usually more technical. If you have really good soft skills, then you're going to get past the interview stage. You're going to get that offer. I got a couple tips for you guys here, but things you're going to want to work on or be prepared to, I would say, showcase, especially during the interview, is your verbal, nonverbal skills, written, presentation, and communication skills. Be creative, use examples, and time management. If I had to pick just 3 soft skills for you to work on, it'd be communication skills, your creativity skills, and then time management. And I'll go over that a little bit more in another video as well. But some things you want to know is the background of the agency that you're going to be applying for. What is the mission? Who are their customers? How large is the organization? Kind of have a feel for that going in, because as part of your soft skills, and if the question does come up, you're going to want to be able to come across as interested, as invested, as knowledgeable about the role that you're applying for, part of the company already, and if you know more about the company, you're going to come off that way, and that's going to come through to the hiring manager, that's going to come through to the board members. That is a good way to showcase your soft skills. Explain how you're a good fit. Explain how what you have done in your past is going to link you to being successful in the position that you're applying for. And another good tip is to never leave that final question unanswered. If they ask, do you have any questions for us? Always include one. Don't ever skip it. I've seen multiple hiring managers say that's their number one gripe, their number one pet peeve of candidates, of just not taking the opportunity to answer that question. My personal favorite, you can use this. what challenges are you currently facing in the IT department or the IT section? Basically, you're trying to get a feel for what common issues that they're having or major issues that they're having that needs corrective action, we'll say. And then this really plays in nicely with your, it's an opening for you to showcase how your past experience is going to benefit that organization. So if they're having an issue with their help desk system, it's really just informal. People call them all the time. You wish there was a standardized method for everybody to contact, and then it gets rack and stacked into your standard help desk system. Just say, oh, I've created that. I've started from scratch and decided to use a SharePoint platform, and whatever it is, whatever the example is, just have something prepared for that. But that is twofold. One, it doesn't leave the question unanswered, and then two, it provides an opening for you to explain how you're a fit for the organization. That's it. This is a really brief overview on how to land a job within federal IT. Comment down below if you have any questions, subscribe for more. I plan on creating a lot more content for this, but hope you liked it.